Hello, hello, and welcome back to Retrieving Sanity with your podcast host Keegan. And this is your podcast for all mental health, addiction, recovery issues, and topics. And today I have a question for you. Do you ever feel like you're done healing? Well, that's probably not good because I don't really think that there is ever really an end to it. But, anyways, before we dive into what is healing and are you ever really done with it, I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you that tune in on Fridays because it just got the new Nielsen report, and that is an awesome number increase of people that listen either on the radio or online every Friday at 7 a.m. Eastern, and it's pretty cool. So if you're one of those people that listen to that, thank you. And if you're one of the people that listen to this whenever it goes on Facebook or YouTube's Podbean, anything like that, thank you again. Because without those little ticks on the little line graph going up sometimes, or just it's steady, it's like, oh, why am I doing it? But at the same time, whenever I get different little tidbits of comments and stuff from listeners, then it's even more worth it. But sometimes it's even whenever I'm talking to guests that really make it worth it, because whenever we're dealing with some pretty heavy topics, I don't know if that person who is speaking those kind of things is necessarily healed from them. And I'm speaking from personal experience myself as well. Just because sometimes we think that we're done with a topic and we're healed on that, next thing you know, we're triggered right back to where we were. And it's like it was never even healed in the first place. And we're right back to the same person we used to be. But I don't really think that that's the case, right? We don't revert into a different person. It's just that the wound is still hurts, you know? That's one of the things. Like if a animal has a hurt on it, whenever you go to pet it or whatever, if you get near the hurt, they will snap at you. And that's how people are too, except a lot of our hurts are invisible. We can't really see our hurts. So whenever we say that we're healed, what exactly does that mean? Like, is it just because you don't think about it anymore? It doesn't bother you anymore? Is that what it is? You just don't think about it? Damn, I wish I could do that. I can't do that. I think way too much about a lot of stuff. So it's healing has to be something that is meaningful, it is tangible of a sort, and just noticeable, I would say, is the biggest thing. Noticeable. If someone is healed, it's noticeable. They don't have to go about saying, "Oh, I'm healed from this. I am so much better now." Like sometimes that is totally fine to do, you know? Like because whenever you feel like you haven't had a voice in so long, by all means, whenever you find your voice, go to the rooftops, shout out your message and just have fun with it, you know? Because if you haven't had it, enjoy it because you haven't had it before. So go enjoy it. But if you're sitting there trying to deal with it in a way that makes you feel like you have higher status because you've got more healing done, you've done more trigger points, you've done more of this or that, then I think you're kind of doing it wrong. You know, that's kind of similar to like you don't go and donate to a homeless shelter or something and then go and tell the world like, hey, I just donated $100,000 over to this homeless shelter and food bank. Oh, and the free puppy station over there. Like you don't do that. You just kind of go and do the thing and then just file your taxes. You don't tell anyone else about that if you do that. Whenever you tell other people, that's whenever it's like, oh, hmm, oh, okay. Well, they're trying to make themselves seem a certain way. They're trying to do a certain something with it, right? That's weird. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't let people know that you do certain things, but you shouldn't go and be so proud about them because that means that you're putting a label on yourself that you may not understand quite well enough. And I think a lot of us that are in a form of healing kind of get addicted to it in a weird way. Now, whenever I say this, it's kind of weird whenever I'm speaking from a background of addiction. And it's like, how do you get addicted to healing? Well, it's easy, let me tell you, because it just goes, oh, I found something wrong with me and I changed it and my life is 100 times better. What else can I change? Holy shit. Like, that's how healing started for me. It was like, oh, damn, I've been missing out Like, what else can I fix? And that's part of the thing, right? Like, a lot of us sit there and we just go, oh, that was wrong. What else was wrong? Whoa. And the thing is, there's so much wrong that I'll never find something not wrong unless I just stop looking. You understand what I'm saying? I will always be able to find something about myself that I don't quite like. And what I mean by that is I'm not an artist. I am a creative type. Don't get me wrong. I'm just not very good at creating art on paper or some other mediums because for me, we'll just stick with like pen and paper, right? So if I were to actually draw something, or and let's get some markers in there too and make it colorful, right? If I were to do just an image, let's just that that one in the corner, the two-headed crow, that my wife did. And if I were to do that, I would be sitting there going like, "Oh yeah, that was wrong. That was wrong. That was wrong. I really didn't like that pen stroke." I remember the thought I had whenever I was coloring in that eyeball. I could sit there and just analyze a piece of art that I did and just tear it to shreds to where it's not even worth it. And I'll make sure that I don't start art because of the same thing. And that's how healing kind of is too, in a weird way, because I'm the source of my pain in a sense, right? Now, I'm not saying that the world hasn't done me wrong, other people haven't done me wrong, because by all means they have. However, it's what I do with that pain that turns into a trauma of sorts that affects how I end up affecting, treating other people, and just living my life afterwards, right? So, in a weird sense, everything can be reverted back to baseline zero, which is essentially uh, like in the cradle whenever I'm just fresh born, right? That is blank slate, that is clean. And even then, I'm not entirely a blank slate because I've already been impacted by different things inside the womb and after birth. And so that's that's the thing. I don't think we're ever not really somewhat traumatized in some way, shape, or form. And the thing is, whenever we go and we start healing some aspects, the things that might need more healing pop up all of a sudden. And we didn't really quite realize that those were an actual issue. And so we can get really addicted to saying, like, oh, look, I fixed that. What else can I fix? And we'll just run off to it and go to fix it. And without really either questioning why it was broken in the first place, what it may have been serving us, or who knows what other things we could be disregarding by just saying, ooh, that's wrong, or that's not quite right. And part of it also comes with the whole fact that just because I visit a subject, I visit a trigger point, or just subject that I have a lot of trauma around, does not mean it's one and done. It does not mean, oh yeah, I spent 10 hours in a journal on this subject. I am 100% good on it. I'll never have to think about it again. No. If I ever think that, then that means that there's something there that I'm trying to not think about, and I should definitely think about it and figure out why I'm trying to not think about it. So that's kind of the thing, right? Whenever, and I just realized I say that a lot. That's kind of the thing. That's kind of the thing. Regardless, whenever we're sitting there, whenever I'm sitting there, and it's something that I feel like I've cleared the addiction of, let's say alcohol. Whenever I, okay, so maybe we shouldn't do that one. Whenever I think of it, my stomach gets really upset and I want to throw up. So we'll not do that. We'll, um, shit. Okay, let's go with nicotine because I just finished. I'm working on quitting nicotine, and I'm at 2 weeks. So yay me. 2 weeks, right? Yeah, I think so. It's kind of weird how it just the first week kind of sucked. The second week was like, whatever. And that's the thing, right? Like I've quit nicotine before. I've quit vapes. I've quit cigarettes. And that's the thing is that the first 3 days sucks a lot. And in fact, to combat the oral fixation part and get a little thingy. It's just it's a little silicone chew toy for people. So it's actually not bad. Like I thought it was going to be weird. I was like, oh my man, my teeth ain't going to take it very easily, and all that. And I was like, oh man, this is going to suck. It's actually really good. It helps out a bunch. The only thing that make it like even more addictive is if it tasted good. Uh, but that's the thing is that I found a new uh, trick, if you will, to help me get over an addiction that I've already beat before. But why did I fall back into the addiction if I already healed that addiction? Well, it's because I didn't really heal the addiction. I took care of some of the symptoms that were causing me to relapse into it. So part of that has to be my ADHD. If you didn't know, nicotine actually helps self medicate people with ADHD. So if you're a smoker, then you might have ADHD. You've just been using nicotine to self medicate. And if you're like me, it's like, oh, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And so after I started treating my ADHD, my nicotine like cravings have actually went and so it was really my physical body that was sitting there going like, "Oh, nicotine! I remember that molecule. I need it." And it was like, "Nah, nah." My brain was like, "Nah, we're good, dude. Don't need it anymore." And so every now and then I'm sitting there and I'm reaching in my pocket and I'm like, "All right, gotta get the vape." And I'm like, "It's a rock. No, it's another rock." um, and that's the thing of fidget, just fidget if I got to, or get a silicone chew toy, or chew gum, mints, whatever it takes. Just avoid the thing that is bothering me about not doing something, right? And whenever I'm talking about nicotine, like what did I not heal in myself that made me want to go back to nicotine? So, of course, there's the ADHD aspect, but another aspect is just stress. That is one of the huge things that keep people tied to nicotine is stress. And we're always stressed about something. I think if we were ever to say, I'm not stressed about anything, I'd probably die, just for the sheer fact that it's that odd that I wouldn't be stressed about something. Like I'm stressed about my hair falling out for no reason. I'm stressed about just am I going to get another shirt made in time for the podcast movement? Am I this? There's silly things. I'm always stressed about something, and to not be stressed about something sounds like bliss. And if I could get there, that'd be cool. But the thing is that I was using nicotine as a form of stress control. And I didn't like what it was doing to my teeth. I didn't like how it was treating my nose, my lungs, on the rest of me. And I didn't like feeling like I was tied to something again. And that's what a lot of trauma does to us. It ties us to certain reactions, it ties us to certain things that makes us feel like we're really stuck. So, what I had to do was really to sit there and change up my stress response. So, after treating my ADHD, next thing is treating the stress response. And that's really just figuring out what is making me go. And sometimes it's literally just saying, I just need to scream at the top of my lungs for like 4 seconds, And sometimes it's just sitting there saying, like, I just need to take a breath. And that's the thing, too. If you find yourself needing to take a breath, breathe out and all the way out from your diaphragm as best you can, because that's going to let your body know, hey, dude, relax or do that. Do people even still say that? I know I've said that on the podcast before, but no one ever corrected me. So there we go. Anyways, um, dealing with that stress response in a different manner really does change up the game. But that's kind of the thing is that my body was just so used to going for the vape for the last several years that was I get stressed, I start thinking a little sideways or anything, reach in the pocket and pull out the vape, no matter where I'm at, except for certain places at work, namely other customers' offices, and that's it. Like almost anywhere else, the vape is totally fine to use. It's been socially acceptable, except for a few places like businesses, really. And that's the thing. Like, it's not that healthy. We like to think it is, but it's really not. Like, my teeth beg to differ. And oh man, like that's the thing. I was like, man, I changed up this, I changed up that. Everything's going great except for parts of my teeth are still not great. And that's the one thing that is really bad. That and sugar. Sugar before bed. Don't need that. Need to stop that. But that is another part of a response I have to being bored or just having energy that I'm trying to get out, and also just part of not vaping. So there's different things that are going on with this one addiction that I'm trying to heal. And so it turns out that there's other aspects of that healing process that need to happen for that healing to be complete. So what is healing? So I think it really is essentially dealing with a trigger enough to where it doesn't trigger you anymore. I think that is a sufficient way of saying that you've been healed in like at least 5%, because the other 95% is, well, what do you do with that information that you now got? Because in my opinion, if you kind of hold on to that information of what healed you, you're kind of being a little selfish. And I don't think you're going to get the full effect of healing until you help someone else through that too. And I'm not saying that everyone that goes through something has to help someone else. What I'm saying is helping someone else helps teach you and show you more about yourself so that you can actually see more about what you need to work on without someone else telling you what you need to work on. Does that make sense? And I'm pretty sure a lot of us don't like being told what to do. So if you need a way to figure out what it is you need to work on, just go help someone else. And you'll be like, oh, yeah, they need to work on that. And you're like, oh, yeah, I do that too. But that's the thing. You have to have enough self introspection to be able to do that. And that's the thing. We're not always the best at holding up mirrors to ourselves. So whenever someone starts getting under your skin, to say it the nicest way, then figure out what is it that's getting under your skin? What is it that made you tick that way that time? Is it something that they said? Is it the way they said it? Is it possibly the way they looked at you? Is it the thing that they were wearing? Is it the way they smelled? Is it the way their breath smelled? Is it anything about the way they looked? Is it anything about the way they treated you? Or anything? There's so many different things you can sit there and be like, what is it that made me just go snap? And then whenever you find it, you can start to analyze that. Whenever you start to analyze it, then you can go, oh, is that something I do too? And maybe, probably, and it's probably one of those things that I don't like to do. And I sit there and will do it and like, yeah, well, like one of the things. Okay, really silly one. Spitting gum out of a car window. I hate that. It's littering. It really is. But it's the things that, and or like cigarette butts, on super duper littering, very bad. But I would do that too, and like thankfully I don't anymore. But that's the thing, is that it's just a program, something that was socially acceptable. And it's like, I don't see anything wrong with it. But in doing it so often, it just causes, oh man, my brain just went, whoa, rabbit hole drain, here we come. Um, nope, never mind, it's gone. Hmm. So what is healing? Healing is also being able to say, you know what? I totally forgot exactly what my landing point with what I was talking about is, because I totally forgot exactly what I was talking about. So we're going to just talk about what is healing, going right back to the source. And that's okay, because I'm that one of my things is that I would beat myself up for forgetting simple things like that. And part of me is like, oh, why would you forget something like that? And part of me is like, it's okay. Like, I've got a lot on my plate. I'm super stressed. I'm surprised I've been able to go 19 minutes without actually forgetting anything more than once. So I'm actually pretty proud of myself. And that's something that I can sit there and say about that, is that I used to be really bad at just sticking to a topic for long enough. If you've listened to this podcast for any amount of time, especially before the guest interviews, you'll know that I had a really hard time about sticking on a track, on one train. Maybe, and like now it's one train and just like five different cars or whatever. So we're on the same track, just a little bit different. But back in the early podcast days, there was nope. It was rabbit hole, 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 and so on and so forth. So we've gotten better, and a lot of it comes from healing and just focusing, leaving intently, living intently, and just being able to say, I forgive myself for a lot of the stupid shit that I've done, and it's okay. I see myself, I hear me, and it's okay. I'm here now. I haven't always been here for myself, but I am now. And that's the important part, right? I am now. So what is it that I need? And let's figure it out so that I can give it to myself, right? Because then I can trust myself more. Then I can love myself more because I can trust myself to be vulnerable and open with my own self, to cry with myself, to yawn, even. If you don't know what it's like to not yawn, then you, lucky. Ugh. So, that's the thing, right? Like healing comes in all sorts of shapes and sizes, and we like to also sit there and compare our healing to others because, well, they had the same or similar traumas and they're over their traumas. Why can't I get over mine? Well, it's because you're the different person. And who's to say that they're actually over their stuff? Who's to say that they're just not actually stuffing away their triggers, and every little time that they get upset and triggered, they're just exploding on the inside, waiting for the moment for some kind of catharsis or waiting for their vice of whatever it is. And that's the thing. You don't know unless they tell you what their secret life is like, then you'll never know. And that's okay because it's their life. So we just need to worry about our own and worry about our healing, and we'll be able to, in effect, help others heal their stuff and heal ourselves more. So, with that, I'm actually going to leave this episode here. Let me know what it is that you've healed, what it is that you are healing on. Is that the right word? Healing on? What you're working on healing. And just let's find out what it is that we can help support each other with. And with that being said, we do have a new, well, it's not necessarily new. We have a Discord, right? We've had a Discord. And oh, installing updates. So, with that being said, we've started streaming on TikTok Fridays and Saturdays, 10:45 Central. Sorry, I was trying to not burp for the last 3 minutes. um, but we've got a Discord going, and anyone is yeah, edit invite link. It never expires. No limit. Generate new link. There we go. I don't know why that changes. Oh, that's why. Landing page. There we go. Invite people. Whatever. Yeah. So we're going to go ahead and post that Discord link right here. And anyone that needs it can use it. So go to Discord and just let us know what it is that you're healing on, what you could use support with, and I'll do my best to provide support. And other people in Discord are super helpful and friendly. Like we're all going through our own little turmoil, tumultuous, tumultuous, turmont, fuck it. We're all going through our hard times, and sometimes the people that help other people through hard times are the people going through hard times. So let's give us just a lift up, a shout out to each other. Let us know that I see you, I hear you, you're not alone. I'm here for you. What can I do to help? So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and end this here. Thank you very much for watching. We'll catch you tomorrow. I believe we had an interview. We had an interview today. I didn't sit there and go, "Hey, are we still good?" And this is with someone that we've interviewed before. So this is their second appearance. So they should have been like, "Hey, we confirmed the first time. We're good." But I dropped the ball. So tomorrow, we will be speaking with Philip Quinine. I think it's Quinine. It's either Quinine or Quiniz. I'm not sure, but we'll be speaking with him tomorrow at 10, and we'll be figuring out what it is that his story is like and how he's healed and how he helps others heal too. So don't forget, love yourself, love others if you can, but love yourself first. Be nice to yourself. It's not that hard. And then you can be nice to other people too, because it's also not that hard. So without further ado, I'm just going to end it here. Thanks for watching Retrieving Sanity on whatever platform it is that you checked it out on. And we'll catch you Friday, 7 a.m. Eastern on WDJY 99.1 FM. And until then, you can always check out the YouTube for bonus content.